Hello, are we there? Let's see, it's Tuesday, the 26th of January. Today is Tiffany's due date, and she is still pregnant. We are getting ready to go to a doctor's appointment today. They are doing ultrasound and NST testing every week, and baby is absolutely perfect. Because baby is a little bit small, because Tiffany is small, they're watching to make sure baby doesn't start to struggle here at the end. And so far, no struggle at all. She's been absolutely perfect. So, you know, we're glad for that. Everything's going very textbook as far as, you know, her body is just doing everything it's supposed to do. Last week, she's dilated to 1. Baby's head down. She's having Braxton Hicks contractions. Her doctors told her that in all their experience, if they had to make a guess, that they would guess that she would go right around her due. So we're thinking hopefully sometime this week. We were actually thinking hopefully sometime last week, but you know, we also concede and know that Micaiah is in the very best place she could be right now, and she will come when she's damn good and ready. My mom and I both carried our babies 10 months, and so it wouldn't be so odd for Tiffany to go over, but she seems to be getting ready now. So we'll see. But that's all good. She's off work and she's home and she's already bored. So it would be good if the baby would come. I'm doing well. I'm at 9.5 weeks now. Most of the morning sickness has stopped. I'm dealing with, you know, sporadic bouts of nausea, which are usually tied to hunger. And that whole thing is weird. The lap band in pregnancy. Okay, so I'm really new into this, but here's what I already don't like. Okay, since I've had my band drain, I can eat anything, so I don't have. There isn't anything that I can't eat, which is nice because it allows me bread, and which I have missed. And I don't eat a lot of it, but I do like a sandwich is a basic staple, because I've stepped away from having tuna fish every day just because I'm pregnant. And so I've gone to having a sandwich in the afternoon. And I'm very particular about the bread that I buy and I use. It's all natural, whole grain, made with cane sugar, no high fructose anything, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm enjoying it every day. But my stomach has shrunk in the last 3 years, so my capacity for food is still restricted. But it's normal because I can eat a sandwich and a banana and a cup of yogurt. Well, it's not a whole cup. How much is in there? It's about 4 ounces. It's one of those Yoplait cups, okay? So I can eat one of those with a banana and a sandwich. It takes me about a half hour to get that down. Which is a pretty normal average size meal for a person. You know, that's an okay, that's a normal amount of food. It's a lot for me though, and I want to start being obsessive about it because, like I've said, my weight issues are all a mind fuck. And my mind is starting to fuck with me a little. So I have to be very careful because I also want to be obsessed about the fact that I have to gain weight. I want to be obsessed about how much I'm eating, and you know, and really what the goal of that obsessive behavior is to get me to a point where I can't calm myself down so that I will binge and purge or let go of all control. And because I'm in a really highly emotional time right now. I got a grandbaby on the way. I'm pregnant at 40. I'm dealing with relationship issues that I thought that I would have lots of time to deal with, but I'm feeling an urgency to resolve some of these things for the baby's sake. So, pardon me. So those are all things that would normally trigger my addiction and my addictive personality, and they are trying. It's trying to, and I am in control of it. I am aware of it. And I'm dealing with it, but it is there, and it's there consistently. And this is why I've always said I would never have my band taken out, because if I was left to know that the rest of my life I would have to be strong enough to continually deal with these issues and continually make the right choices on top of those issues, I don't think that I could honestly tell you that I could for the rest of my life. As in control as I am and as hard as I've worked, I would not want to do this for a long term. And even though I understand the baby needs me to eat and gain weight, my mind wants to tell me there's something wrong with that. So it's a battle. It's a constant telling myself the truth. It's a constant being in check and in the reality that I'm having these false thoughts and these obsessive thoughts and having to knock them down. And I can and I do. It's the idea that I would have to do this consistently because I'm not good at it all the time. I don't always make the right choice. Sometimes I give into it. Now I've been good. I'm still not eating anything that somebody shoves through a window at me. I'm not binging and purging. I'm not binging. But I've eaten out of emotional response, but it's been an apple or a yogurt or something like that. It's not that I'm making bad choices. So I'm just trying to not be obsessive about those things that, I can't be obsessive about gaining 30 pounds. Because if that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen, and it's all for all the right reasons. But it's a constant having to retell myself that truth instead of buying into the lies and the shit that my mind wants to tell me. So, because I'm still an addict. And now I'm an alcoholic in a bar. You know what I mean? I don't have my restriction. So, it is on me. Now, the other thing I don't care for without the restriction is I do not care for the way eating and digestion and hunger and all that feels. With restriction, I eat between 500 and 1100 calories a day, depending on what my activity level is and what I'm doing, and I sustain just perfectly fine. When I eat, I have hours of satiety because there's that slow release as the food travels through the stoma to the bottom of the stomach where it's digested. Well, now everything's going right through. This big digestive action is happening all at once. I don't like the feeling of that. And I'm getting true hunger pains, like my stomach growling, it's doing it now, making noise. I'm hungry. Before, hunger was different. It wasn't so intense, first of all, and secondly, my mind after several hours would go, it's probably about time for you to start thinking about getting something to eat. I don't have that kind of time now. My body tells me much sooner than my mind that, hey, you got to eat. And I'm not fond of hunger. I'm not fond of that feeling. So I'm having to learn to adjust to that again and realize, and I'm having to learn, I'm watching the clock more now and knowing that, okay, it's been 2.5 hours. Sometime in this next half hour to an hour and a half, I'm going to start needing to eat. And so I'm trying to manage my meal times that way so that I don't get to the point where my stomach's actually growling and I'm actually that hungry. It's just a little bit frustrating because after 3 years of being in this groove with my band and knowing what my body needs and all that, and now my needs are changing, and the baby has needs, and so now I have to learn this new way for a few months. And really, the last few days I've just got to is, Julie, it is just for a few months, and it is for all the right reasons, for beautiful, good, joyful reasons, and in 8 months, I will find myself back at my surgeon's office, tightening this bitch right back up and going right back down to where I was. So I'm trying to keep that in the forefront of my mind, and that helps. But it is a continual, everyday thing where I've got to stop at some point during the day and tell myself some truth. And it just gets tiring and frustrating sometimes because you just want to be cured. You just want to not have to deal with those things. And that's just not reality. An alcoholic is never not an alcoholic. And, there are triggers, and I know what my triggers are, and I'm in this situation in life where every one of them is just being agitated right now. So, you know, I'm putting to test the work that I've done in the last few years and how far I've come, and I feel confident and strong, and I feel like I will be able to get through this, and I will be okay, and I know I'm not going to gain my 300 pounds back. At the same time, I know that I'm susceptible to fall, to relapse, and I need to stay on top of that. And so it's again putting my weight issues at the forefront of my life, and that's I'm just frustrated a little bit sometimes by that, but I'm also aware that that's just how it has to be, and that I'm okay, and that I'm going to be okay. So I am out of time, as always. I hope you guys are all experiencing great success. I will talk to you all again very soon.